confrontations now. Switched over to where Christian Eriksen waits. Dele Alli, nice turn, and with a volley, and with the goal!
Football is a game of strategy, but apparently no one told this stray pup. He wandered onto the pitch and immediately showcased better ball control than the actual strikers. While the pros stood around looking confused, this dog ran infield to celebrate. Valentino Rossi. Valentino Rossi doesn't believe in boundaries, literally. During the Dutch TT finale, he got shoved into the gravel by Marc Marquez at the final chicane. Most ordinary humans would crash, but this multiple-time MotoGP champion is no ordinary human. Rossi just decided to treat his bike like a dirt bike, jumping the gravel and crossing the line first. He basically redrew the racetrack in the dirt to secure the win. Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is the human equivalent of a Control+Z button. After a defensive mess left an empty net, Silva sprinted back to hook the ball off the line at the final microsecond. The best part, he immediately held up an apologetic hand for the mess that caused the drama. He's the guy who fixes your computer and then apologizes for it being broken. Dele Alli. Dele Alli once painted a masterpiece using only his feet and a soccer ball. He flicked the pass over his own head, spun 180 degrees, and smashed a volley into the corner. It was pure magic that left the crowd questioning if physics actually exist. It's the kind of goal that makes professional defenders want to reconsider their entire career path. The chaos of the Ostrich Derby. Welcome to the Ostrich Derby, where the riders are terrified and the birds couldn't care less. These giant birds have zero interest in the racing line, leading to flailing wings and unseated humans. It's a total pandemonium in Los Angeles. If you enjoy watching a bird that can outrun a cheetah, ignore every instruction, this is your favorite new sport, the rally car's canine miracle. In Mexico, a dog learned that some cars can fly. During a rally stage, a dog wandered onto the track just as a car crested a jump. The car zoomed past the dog with inches to spare. And then the dog just trots off like it hadn't just starred in a real-life action movie. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic doesn't score goals. He creates spectacles. He always knows exactly how to please the crowd with a bit of wild improvisation. Whether it's a bicycle kick or a caper kick to the net, he plays the game like an artist who just happens to be 6'5". If he were any more dramatic, he'd need an Oscar instead of a trophy. The muddy interview sabotage. Interviews are usually boring, unless they turn into a free mud bath. A reporter was trying to get a post-match scoop when this happened. Facing the bull head-on. Most people run from bulls. This guy decided to face one head-on. It's a sport that requires more courage than most of us will ever find. Standing perfectly still as half a ton of muscle charges you is truly goosebump-inducing. He didn't just survive, he made the bull look like the one who was confused by the interaction. The ski jump Spider-Man. This ski jumper didn't just land, he flew with the style of a superhero. His leap truly gave everyone goosebumps as he soared through the air. He looked like a superhero before landing safely to a roar of applause. It's one of those alpine moments where you realize humans were never really meant to be that high off the ground. The fake throw that fooled everyone. Fake throws are a dime a dozen, but this one was so brilliant, even the crowd couldn't believe their eyes. The players sold the movement so well that the defenders were looking for a ball that was still in his hands. It was the art of mental chess played on a basketball court. David Beckham. David Beckham's long passes are basically the gold standard for absolute precision. He could drop a ball on a dime from 50 yards away without breaking a sweat. In this clip, he launches a pass that makes you say, "No freaking way," as it lands perfectly on his teammate's foot. It's not just a pass, it's a miracle in motion. Basketball court revenge. Blake Griffin doesn't forget. In what looked like a calculated act of revenge, Griffin inadvertently touched a runner back while looking at the referee. The game got tense, and the players clearly couldn't keep a cool head anymore. It led to fouls and technicals as everyone tried to prove they were the biggest star on the floor. Durant's technical tantrum. Even the greats have bad days. Kevin Durant got fouled, got frustrated, and decided the ball belonged in the stands. He just chucked it into the crowd, earning himself an immediate technical foul. It's what happens when the game gets too intense and the players forget they're actually on television. Sometimes you just need to throw something. South Africa's feathered Tour de France. Imagine training for a cycling race in Cape Town and realizing you're being hunted by a giant bird. A group of cyclists found themselves in an adrenaline-fueled chase with an ostrich that jumped onto the road and started sprinting. The bird had no problem keeping up at 50 kilometers per hour, looking like it wanted to lead the pack. Luckily, the road ran out before the ostrich decided to see if spandex tastes good. Gravity is a choice. We have all seen bike ramps, but this one looks like it was designed by a mad scientist. A rider approached a ramp at high speed and for a split second, found himself riding completely vertical on a 90-degree surface. It is the kind of wall ride that defies everything we learned in school about centrifugal force. One wrong move and you're a human pancake, but he makes it look like a casual Sunday stroll. Sergio Ramos versus the lens. Sergio Ramos has a reputation for being a bit of a loose cannon, and even the camera crew isn't safe. During a Real Madrid training session, a moment of frustration led him to blast the ball with pinpoint accuracy. Instead of hitting the net, the ball sailed straight into the expensive tracking camera hovering above. It was a clinical strike that probably cost more in repair bills than most players make in a week. The bizarre world of headis. If you ever thought ping pong was too easy, Germany has a solution called headis. It is exactly what it sounds like. A table tennis match where paddles are banned and players must use their heads to launch a soccer ball. The athleticism is actually mind-blowing, with players diving across the table and performing headers that would make professional footballers jealous. It is also the most impressive way to get a headache I've ever seen. The sky-high taekwondo strike. Taekwondo is all about precision and power, but this board-breaking kick reached a whole new altitude. The athlete launched himself into the air, spinning with such speed that it looked like a scene from a martial arts movie. He managed to shatter a board held over 8 feet in the air, a feat that requires incredible core strength and timing. It's a literal peak performance that makes you wonder if he has secret springs in his shoes. Canada's heart. Canada's rugby team proved that a chase is never over until the whistle blows. They went on a charge that resulted in their 4th try, looking like a declaration of never giving up. They lit up the field with a chase that challenged the speed of the defense. It was a clinical finish to a very long line of team plays. The soccer field boxing ring. Calm down, guys. It's a soccer field, not a ring. These fights happen when the game gets tense and no one can keep a cool head anymore. The final sprint drama. 2 athletes were neck and neck in the last 2 flights of the race. It came down to the absolute wire. It's the kind of finish that makes you realize speed isn't everything. Staying one step ahead mentally is what counts. What a dramatic finale.